credit department, who should they report to? Now, I thought this might have been a good time to do a poll, but we're going to keep the flow moving. Are some credit departments that to the CEO? And there's some credit departments that report to the audit function. There's some credit departments that report to the chief risk officer function. Okay. And so so you can have situations where the chief credit officer functionally reports to the chief risk officer. You have some instances where the chief credit officer functionally reports to the audit committee. There's a few of them out there. And then you have some where the chief credit officer functionally reports to the CEO with quarterly meetings with the audit committee. I wouldn't, if you're thinking to yourself, well, Anson, I only report to the CEO. Well, think about your function. CEO, in some ways, is a not a loan production function, but they're trying to drive earnings. And so what happens if there's a deal that is outside of the board's appetite, or if there's a loan during your annual review that needs to be downgraded from pass to substandard, but you report directly to the CEO? Will you be able to honestly communicate that to them? There's some people, I have a great relationship with my CEO. It's not about, let's just be clear, take your relationships with individuals out of this conversation and think about the functions. What would be the best way to ensure that the function can always speak independently? And one of the things I would recommend is that you have, even if you report to the CEO, you always want to have some, in my opinion, some oversight either by the chief risk officer or the audit committee, so that you can make sure that parity in the perspective, because not all chief officers are made the same. What do you mean by that, Anson? Well, some chief credit officers were raised up through the credit department. All they know is credit. They were the analysts, and they've been an analyst their whole life. Some chief credit officers were loan officers for a long period of time. That does add value in some instances, but in other instances, refer to the loan officer inside of them. There always will be a loan officer in some ways. And so how do you get around that? Well, you have some functional reporting to the chief risk officer, or you have some functional reporting to the audit committee. And I'll tell you, one of the most, as a loan reviewer, one of the most difficult chief credit officers to dance with are ex-examiners, because they know all the tricks of the trade. They know where you're coming at them before you get to them. And so they are extremely difficult to dance with when you're trying to downgrade credits.